Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from Rockspace. This is their AX1800 dual band Wi-Fi 6 router. So this will support 802.11ax. And it is not the newest Wi-Fi 6E. Those are still rather expensive. So if you're looking to upgrade your Wi-Fi for faster speed, say you stream a lot of 4K video or have a lot of devices on your network, then this is a good mid-level entry to mid-level Wi-Fi 6 router that you can grab on Amazon at the time of this review for about $79. I'll have that link in the description below. Now, just to let you know, this is a revision 2.0 of this router. They had one out last year, and they've updated this one, and we're going to dig into it now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I wanted to bring up this back panel of the box just to kind of show you the features that you get on here. This is the RSD0619. It's an AX1800 Wi-Fi 6 router. You can see the speeds for your 5 gigahertz band and your 2.4 gigahertz band. Although it is Wi-Fi 6, you don't get a 6 gigahertz band until you go up to Wi-Fi 6E. So that is something just to know. You still get your 5 gigahertz and 2.4 gigahertz just at faster speeds. You do get 2 antennas dedicated to 2.4 gigahertz, 2 antennas dedicated to 5 gigahertz, and you do get increased speeds on 5 gigahertz up to 1200 megabits per second, and at 2.4 gigahertz up to 574 megabits per second. You do have that 802.11ax Wi-Fi 6. So you do have that there. You have a dual core processor in this, as well as equipped with 4 antennas, as we've talked about before. 4 full gigabit Ethernet ports on the back, plus your WAN port, a WPS button for easy connection, OFDMA, and TWT, which is target wait time technology, reduces the device's power consumption and extends their battery life. So if I missed anything, you can come back to this portion in the video and check out all the rest. Okay, so once you get everything unboxed, you're going to get a quick installation guide. Obviously, they give you documentation here. And if you have any problems, you can go to rockspace.cc to their website, and they'll be able to give you some help if you need any setting this up. But it's pretty simple to set up. I'll walk you through not only the device itself, but setting this up and how it takes you through it on your PC. Now, you can use an app as well. They have an app for iOS and for Android for setting up this, but I used my PC just wired straight in. You do get your power adapter here, and you will need this to power your router. It is a proprietary power cable, as you can see here. No different than most of the other routers that I've tested. You do get a Ethernet cable here. It is a Cat5e cable, just in case you want to know what is included in the box. And let's take a look at the main unit here, and I'll start to show you exactly what the build quality is like. Okay, as for build quality, you get 4 antennas. This is a pretty compact unit. A lot of venting on the top, as you can see, and you do get 4 very thick antennas, which is good because this boasts that it can cover up to 2,500 square feet. Again, 2 of these antennas are going to be designated for your 2.4 gigahertz band, and 2 are going to be for your 5 gigahertz band. Not a lot of lights going on. You have a single light at the top. It's a blue light in the middle, and that's about it. On the bottom, more venting, some nice feet to hold everything in place, but other than that, it's a very simplistic design. Again, the model number is listed on the bottom if you do need to reference that, and your IP address as well, which on the right hand side is going to be 192.168.0.1, and that's important. If you're going to set up via PC, you're going to want to go to that in your browser, and it will take you to the auto setup wizard. On the back, you're going to have a WPS / reset button here. WPS for pretty much just a one-click connect. You get 4 gigabit Ethernet ports, and you get your WAN port as well in yellow for connecting your modem to this router. Or if you have something like Fios, Verizon Fios, you can connect right from the ONT if you're close to it directly into this. You won't even need your modem. So you've got that and your power on the back, and that pretty much covers us for the setup of this particular router. How it is very nice and compact, very lightweight. Very nice, thick and long antennas for the distance. Let's get into the setup wizard to show you exactly how to set it up. Okay, so to do this, I just plugged into my PC and went to 192.168.0.1 in my browser. Takes me to the quick setup wizard where you can select your time zone. So you'll want to select your current time zone to set that to the router. You can also, again, do this with the iOS app or the Android app, but I am doing it via PC just because it's the easiest thing for me to do right now and record. So it's going to automatically select my connection type, which is dynamic IP. You can set it to PoE or static IP, of course, and then I will hit next. Now this is where your wireless is. You can turn it on or off if you don't want your wireless on, and it will have an SSID which you can choose to hide or not, and you can turn your encryption on or off, which means you will have to have a password to get into your Wi-Fi. Of course, you're going to want to set that up. You can check this box to set the Wi-Fi password as the login password for the admin account, so that when you come back, you can just use the same password, one less password to remember. So now what it's going to do is it's going to set that information in the router itself, and we will be good to go here. And then once we go home, we can check all the information and tools that Rockspace has available to us. It's going to ask you to relog back in with your password, and once you do, we'll be at the home screen. Now on the home screen here, it's going to show us our connection status, that we are connected here, that we are ready to go, what ports are being used. Obviously, I'm using my WAN port for the internet, and then my LAN port in orange there for my PC. And then you'll have your firmware version, you'll have your MAC address, you'll have your radio, whether they're on or off for your 5 gig and your 2.4 gigahertz. And if they are named the same, this is basically meaning that if you have a 2.4 gigahertz only setup here, it will connect to that. It'll figure it out on its own, basically. So you can have the same name if you want to. I like to differentiate them, have one named 5G, one just as a different name. So you can go into wireless on the left-hand side. You can select your channel or leave it to auto. You can set TWT or mu-mimo on or off. OFDMA, you're going to want all those on to get the benefits there. Again, there is my password. I can change that if I want to. And since this is the 5 gigahertz, I'm just going to add an extra underscore 5G on this, just so that I know that it's the 5 gigahertz network. Again, you can leave them the same, and your devices are smart enough to figure out whether it is going to need to or be able to connect to the 5 gigahertz or the 2.4 gigahertz. But I like to have them different. That's just a personal preference. So once we set all that up, we're going to go through here. There's a few other things that you can do. You can now see that this one is just Rockspace with a bunch of letters after it, being the 2.4 gigahertz, and this one now has that 5G, and that's how I like to have my network set up. So that's pretty much as simple as it gets for the wireless basic settings. You do have your internet with, again, we'll show you whether you're connected or not, your MAC address. You do have your LAN here starting, and your lease times as well. So you've got all of that in there. Your wireless settings, your basic, your access control. You can have that on or off for the 5 gigahertz. You can white and blacklist devices in there if you want to. You do have your relay settings here as well, so that you can make this a repeater, so you can extend your Wi-Fi signal by using this as a repeater. So if I have my original Galaxy Tech Review and Galaxy Tech Review 5G and I want to extend those, I can do that as well for an existing network. So that is where you'll go for relay settings. You can also go in and you can do a few other things. You can set up a guest network if you want somebody to be able to use that. Smart QoS can also be turned on here. You do have a parental controls, so if you do want to have your children using your Wi-Fi, you can add and delete what can be and cannot be used there. IPv6, and you have your static or DHCP and your tunnel settings right there. VPN, and you have a couple under VPN, an L2 TP server, or you're managing your account for your VPN, so you can build those right in. Operation mode, again, it'll come default as a gateway, but if you want to use it as a repeater for an existing network, you can change that right there. And then under advanced, we have device management, what's connected, and you can see all of that information there. Your IP and port filtering is here as well, and also you have several other things such as your NAT, and which is for port forwarding. If you need to forward any ports, you can do that right there. You do have a service tool here, and you can do that for remote service and set the port that you would like to do for remote service. And then under advanced tools, you will be able to change your password, and you've got your time setup system here for saving your configuration and updating your firmware under upgrade or update. You can do that as well. You can also reset the whole system here if you need to, or reboot it. Again, checking for cloud upgrades and new firmware upgrades right here. Diagnosis. And you also have route tracking and your system log. So overall, it's got a bunch of different things. Now let's get to the really good part. I did some screen captures here of my old router, which is just a Wi-Fi 5 router. You're going to see that my speeds here are 69 down and 61 up. So when we switch over to the Wi-Fi 6 router at 2.4 gigahertz, I have 114 down and 56 up. So you can see that there's a pretty big difference even in the 2.4 gigahertz band. So let's take a look at the 5 gigahertz band. So taking a look at the initial 5 gigahertz band on the Wi-Fi 5 router, it was 311 down and 430 up. And if we move over to the Wi-Fi 6 router on the 5 gigahertz band, you can see that it goes up to 672 megabits down and 229 up. The up speed, I tested a few more times, and that did come up to about the same as I was getting on the first Wi-Fi 5 router, but you can see that the download speeds have over doubled the speed that I was getting on my Wi-Fi 5 router. So your Wi-Fi 6 router, moving up from Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6 on the 5 gigahertz band is definitely going to be a huge bump, especially on your download speeds. Your upload speeds may increase depending on your particular setup, but I noticed the most, even in 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz from moving from the Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6, that the download speeds doubled in both cases. Okay, so there you go. That's my review of the Rockspace AX100 dual band Wi-Fi 6 router. If you're looking to jump from the older technology of Wi-Fi 5 to Wi-Fi 6 and you don't want to pay through the nose for Wi-Fi 6E, which is the new, you're going to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for those routers at the moment. You can potentially double your speed, at least download-wise, with moving from a Wi-Fi 5 router to a Wi-Fi 6 router, which I just displayed here. Overall, for a mid to entry level model like the AX1800 at $79, I think that's a fair price for doubling my Wi-Fi speed. I really do like everything that they've got going for this. It's nice, it's lightweight, it's compact. It definitely saw a nice download speed increase over Wi-Fi. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with what Rockspace has done with the AX1800. If you have any questions or comments about this device, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Remember to like, and if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do so because that always helps me out. And I'll check you guys out on the next video.